What if I told you that we're going to be happier, more successful, and have more life by treating yourself more like a machine? So today I'm bringing you guys a book review of Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. As we've alluded to in the Science of Getting Rich and Think and Grow Rich book review videos, those two books, along with Psycho-Cybernetics, constitute what I call the manifestation trilogy, as they have a lot of overlapping in their mental models. If you really look into it, the mental models of these three books describe three versions of the same system diagram, each iterating upon its predecessor. The TLDR of this book review is that I think Psycho-Cybernetics is one of the best self-help books there is. It's actionable, scientifically proven, and the teachings can have profound positive impact on your life if you follow through. The caveat is that, first of all, to get the most value out of this book, you really should have read Wallace Wattles' The Science of Getting Rich and Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich prior to reading this book, because those two books' mental models lay foundations for your understanding of Psycho-Cybernetics. And secondly, Psycho-Cybernetics packs a lot of information into just one book, as it covers related side topics like side quests branching off a main quest. And these topics include what purposes do our negative emotions serve, how to maintain your youthfulness, and how to recover from past traumas. As you can see, these topics are valuable, but can be distracting in the sense that you may lose sight of the book's core mental model. If we look at the mental model we've extracted from Think and Grow Rich, in which we acknowledged the conscious mind as the client, or the user interface layer, and our subconscious mind as the more powerful server-side layer, then Psycho-Cybernetics improves upon this model in two ways. So first of all, it frames our subconscious mind as a powerful machinery which we can reliably control with our conscious mind, and refers to it as our creative mechanism. Secondly, Psycho-Cybernetics introduces a concept called self-image. In a nutshell, our self-image is how we subconsciously perceive ourselves. Our self-image wraps around our subconscious mind, much like how in a software system, the runtime environment wraps around the server-side code. It's important because it puts self-imposed restriction on our abilities. What David Goggins refers to as the governor in vehicles is but a limited analogy of self-image, in the sense that no matter how great your natural abilities are, if you subconsciously perceive yourself as a mediocre performer, your actual output won't exceed the boundaries of the self-image to match your real abilities. In other words, you've placed a governor on your vehicle, and because of the governor, now your car cannot reach its theoretical top speed. But conversely, what's empowering about self-image is that if you have a well-developed self-image, your abilities and your performance over time will grow to match what you subconsciously believe that you're capable of, which is very empowering. With that distinction in mind, you can think of Psycho-Cybernetics as a manual on, first of all, how to expand your self-image so that you don't subconsciously hinder your own performance, much like upgrading the default configuration of your server-side layer, so your server-side code runs in a better runtime environment. And secondly, how to use your conscious mind to effectively access your subconscious mind. And this can be further dissected into two practices, which include using your subconscious mind for creative problem solving instead of overtaxing the conscious mind to come up with a linear solution, and how to effectively use your rationality to reduce psychic entropy so you can conserve your mental energy on pursuing your goals. And in terms of the actionable techniques, it really boils down to three actionable practices. The first one being always be goal oriented, and the second one is we need to leverage visualization or mental picturing to expand our self images. And the third one is use rational thinking to reduce psychic entropy. And now let's talk about these three actionable practices in details. So in terms of always be goal oriented, why is it important to always be goal oriented? Well, just consider the fact that retirees who no longer have a purpose have a high mortality rate. And Maxwell Maltz argues that much like when riding a bicycle, the forward momentum prevents you from falling sideways. As goal-striving beings, always having worthy goals to strive for, to look forward to, eliminates a lot of the psychological issues. And there's a saying for this: idle minds are the devil's playground. And now let's talk about the second practice, leverage rationality. So leveraging rationality can optimize the efficiency of your mental machinery. Dr. Maltz argues that when examined rationally, our counterproductive negative feelings all serve evolutionary purposes. So for example, frustration is feedback that tells you that your goal was unrealistically set, and aggression is intense emotion misguided, and we should use that intense emotion and channel it towards conquering your entrepreneurial obstacles. And insecurity serves to protect your ego. And furthermore, Maltz echoed another psychologist, Prescott Leckey's statement that emotions are intrinsically neutral. It's the mental images we hold when experiencing strong emotions that let it take on different forms. So, logically, it follows that if we could always be goal oriented, which is looping back to the first practice, if we can always stay goal oriented and form mental images of our desired outcomes when experiencing strong emotions, we could harness the emotional energy and channel it towards constructive actions rather than wasting it on self sabotaging. So, last but not least, let's talk about visualization and mental picturing. So, why is mental picturing or visualization so important? Well, Maltz stated that mental picturing is more effective than verbal affirmations when it comes to influencing our self images. That's the case because our self image is built from our past experiences. But get this, our nervous system cannot distinguish between real experiences from synthetic or imagined experiences. So much like you can use synthetic data or LLM generated data to train LLM, visualizing yourself successfully performing a task is just as effective when it comes to expanding your self image as physically executing the task successfully. In fact, you may argue that visualization is more effective because you can do it with volume, without any physical restraints. So, in conclusion, Psycho-Cybernetics is one of the best self help books ever published, as it raised awareness to the existence of self image and outlined actionable steps on how to expand it. It's a satisfying combination of the Manifestation trilogy. So that concludes our book review of Maxwell Maltz's Psycho-Cybernetics. If you're new to this series, I publish monthly book review videos where I give you the mental model I've extracted from a well-reviewed non-fictional book in a concise, straight-to-the-point format. If you're interested in following this series, sign up for the video updates at blog.wordforge.tech. Our next book review video will be on Jeff Olson's The Slight Edge. With that said, I'll see all of you in the next video. Bye bye.